Christina Hill, and this is the Own Your Crap podcast. In my early 30s, I found myself in a dangerous downward spiral of depression and misery, and I truly thought my life was over. Until an amazing teacher told me that the secret to my healing was to own my crap. Literally own it. Accept it for what it is and move forward from there. And I can honestly say that from that day on, everything in my life changed. So I'm here to help you, inspire you, and guide you so that you too can own your crap and live your best fucking life. Each week, I want to take you on a journey that helps you figure out a path that works for you. A path to change, nurture, and develop what I consider to be the pillars of a happy and successful life. Your mental health, your physical health, and your financial health. As well as stories, tips, and tricks from my own life, I want to share with you some nuggets of gold from some of the most amazing special guests. I'm super grateful for you joining me on this journey. And if you like what you hear, or if you know someone who could benefit from this, then please share, like, and follow this podcast. It really helps get the message to people who need it. Now, get ready to own your crap. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Do Your Crap podcast. For this latest episode, I wanted to dive in to the art of creating your best life through the power of healthy habits. Now, we all know there are 1,001 things we do on autopilot. There's so much that we don't even think about. We just go ahead and do it. We brush our teeth, or we have a shower in exactly the same way. We get dressed in exactly the same way every single day. We put the same foot first in those pants every single day. If you're driving to work and you go to the same office every day, I guarantee you're doing that on autopilot. You're not even registering where you're turning. You know where the corners are. You know what's going on, and you just go there. And it's a habit. Now, research shows us that to change a habit or to create a new one takes 60 to 90 days of consistent action before those neural connections, the new neural connections, are formed in your brain, and then that new activity, that new habit is hardwired. So I want to just say to you that be gentle on yourself. These things don't happen overnight. And so for those people who go, I'm an all in or an all out kind of person, that is where we get the seesawing of, oh, you do it for a while and then you miss a couple things and then you fall off the wagon, whatever the wagon is, be it for your health, be it if you're trying to quit smoking or eat better or not be so hard on yourself, or whatever the habit is and the wagon is for you. You know, these things take time. And so let's acknowledge that when you're creating a new habit, the change doesn't have to be drastic. You don't have to go from being static couch potato to being a gym junkie and going 5 days a week. Small, consistent steps are the best way to lead to significant and long-lasting transformations. And so, for example, boosting your mental health can be a huge one. There may be a whole bunch of things that you need to overcome and deal with, but starting small with simple habits, like each day, start it with a moment of mindfulness, a moment of intention. And it doesn't have to be a sit down, go into a deep meditation. It just can be as you are laying in your bed and you become aware that you're awake. As you're laying there, take one huge big deep breath and just acknowledge that today is another day to make positive change, and just be mindful, a short burst of gratitude that today is another opportunity to be the best you can be. And these micro moments can have a huge impact on setting the positive tone for the day. If your things you want to change are your physical state, and yeah, as I said, you're not going to go from being a couch potato to being a gym junkie overnight. Make small incremental change. Little moments of movement. Make a commitment to doing something daily, and you can even anchor it to an activity. I know for me, because of the life we live, we're traveling around Australia, I can't really join a gym as such, but I'll do squats when I brush my teeth. So that's 2 minutes 2 solid minutes of focused squats as I'm brushing my teeth, and I anchor the two things together so I don't have to find extra time. I'm already doing something. Or if I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner, I'll do, little calf raises as I'm standing there and bob up and down and do my little exercise. And so it doesn't matter what it is. When you're hanging out washing, us mums who are ever doing washing, um, be conscious of raising your arms above your head. Raise the washing line higher. So you have to stretch. So you get those lovely shoulder muscles going as you're putting the pegs up on the washing line. Finding time in amongst things you're already doing will help start the ball rolling of creating healthy habits and being consistent. And then when you do them, you can reward yourself. You can go, oh, yeah. And you'll be amazed at how quickly you'll see tiny little changes, especially your shoulders and stuff. If you're lifting your arms above your head, 50 times as you're putting the pegs up on the line, you'll feel that, and you can reward yourself by going, yeah, man, I'm doing it. Every time, I'm raising the bar. I'm doing something for myself. It's important to celebrate those wins, and those efforts that you make to change yourself. And other little habits that we find ourselves doing, if a lot of us have either a sweet tooth or a savory tooth, and come that 3 o'clock slump in the cortisol going on in our body, we'll be reaching for the fridge for, a snack of some sort. Start by going, when you're doing your shopping, to try and not have those things in the house at all. One thing is, if food is your thing, make it harder for you to get those bad foods, those unhealthy foods, by not having them in the shop, not having them in the house, not buying them. Don't go down those lanes in the grocery store. Don't go down the chip and lolly lane. Don't go down the fizzy drink lane. And then make sure you've got your fridge and your cupboard stocked with healthy options that you can grab. Make sure you've always got fruit in the fridge, or some carrot sticks, or whatever it is, or some just low calorie options that aren't, the diet stuff. Make sure it's real, natural, whole foods. Or if you do have people in the house that they've got some unhealthy options, ask them to please we're going to put them at the top of the pantry where you can't reach them, or out of sight behind everything else. So it's an effort to go and get those things. I was listening to a podcast a while ago, and they were saying that their thing was ice cream. And if they had a tub of ice cream in the freezer, they would literally eat it every day. So what they do is, when they have that craving, that desire for ice cream, they don't have it in the house. They make it a whole big deal. They go out and they go get themselves a fancy ice cream, and they treat themselves, and they make it so it's a good thing, but not something you would do every day. If you've got those things and it's easy for you to be, slipping into bad habits, have a look at ways that you could make them difficult to get hold of. And even if you're not quite sure about what you want to change, take stock of your day. Spend just a day. I challenge you to spend a whole day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Set a timer, an alarm on your phone for every hour and a half. Don't leave it longer than that, for you to just note down what you did in that time. How did you feel in that time? What were the kinds of thoughts going through your head in that time? What did you achieve in that time? And really get into the nitty-gritty of where you're losing moments, that you're not realizing that those autopilot things are coming back into your life. And then you can go, oh, yeah, that's how this happens. Because the amount of times, like, you've heard people go, I just don't know how this happened. And I know I said it myself 1,001 times when I was in my state of depression. It's like, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I got into this state of complete, unhealthiness, because I wasn't being consciously aware of my actions. I had no clue of what my unhealthy habits were. And so doing that intense, focused look at your day, and you can extend it out and do it longer. I found I did it for 2 or 3 days. One day wasn't enough. I did it for about 2 or 3 days and was really good at every hour checking in with myself. I set a notification on my phone on repeat to check in with what had I done, or where was I at, how did I feel mentally and physically, what was I doing. to then recognize, oh, when I'm in the car, I'm just allowing my head to go to a bad place because I'm going to work. I didn't like my job and I had that horrible auto chatter in my head. So I made it that when I was in the car, I was listening to an audiobook or listening to a podcast, or listening to uplifting music, something that made me feel good. And so anchoring those things together can be really, really helpful at creating new habits, at using the time you already have. So then you can't make excuses that I haven't got time, because you're doing something anyway. Fill in the gaps, marry them together. So then oh, when I get in my car, the habit is just to press play. That's the habit, not to think over the top about it. Same with when you're brushing your teeth and you're doing your squats. The habit is I brush my teeth, I squat. And finding little bits and pieces in your life to be able to change what you've done, create new habits, and then you'll have the confidence and the courage to go on to take bigger steps to change more things. And in the face of changing time, it is so important to safeguard your choices. This isn't just about habits. It's about actively shaping the life that you want in amongst everything that's going on, embracing your right to make choices, and cultivating these habits in your life, finding new ways to be better, feel better. Yeah, I really hope this is just a short one. I didn't want to get, excuse me, too bogged down in this, because the key to changing your life is doing just one thing at a time. It's a long path. It's a long road. Don't overwhelm yourself with having to change everything now. Look at the things you do have the strength to take control of, the things you can just push beyond the boundary. And then when that becomes comfortable, take another step beyond the boundary and look at other things that you can change and other ways that you can grow, and reward yourself along the way. Be gentle on yourself and be kind that you are changing. You're here for a reason. You're listening to this for a reason, to help you along the path to doing something better for yourself. And you can own your crap. You can make your life better. And I truly believe that in micro steps, lots and lots and lots and lots of little micro steps, you will get to a point where you'll go, wow, look at what I have created. This is awesome. So that's it for me today. I've got some fabulous guests coming up. I'm so excited. And also for me, I just want to go back. Doing this podcast is not yet habit. I have to make myself sit down and do it. And so even for me now, still doing new things, it's challenging. And I made a commitment. I made a promise. It's a not negotiable. And this is another important thing, making certain things non-negotiable in your life, that you are going to start doing them and you are going to make yourself do them in some small way. And then over time, they will become automatic habits. You won't have to think about them. And then you can look at those bigger chunks in your life that really need you to have the foundations of yourself in place, that you can really tackle then anything. So I hope you have a fabulous week. And yeah, I will see you next week.